If you're brand new to the sport of distance running, it can be overwhelming trying to navigate your way through all the information about how to start, about how far you should run, about how fast you should run, about what you should do on what day. It's too much. Today, I want to eliminate the confusion for you. I'm going to give you 5 practical tips that set a solid foundation for you as a brand new runner. Alright, the first thing that we need to speak about, and perhaps it is so obvious, yet we always seem to ignore the most obvious things. If you're brand new to the sport of running, you're going to want to start slow. Slow means conversational pace. You want to be able to run at a pace where you can hold a fairly comfortable conversation. Now, this might be just above a walk. That's completely fine. That's exactly where you need to start. I always say to the athletes who are brand new that I coach that if you want to start running, you've got to run at a pace which feels embarrassingly slow and then slow it down even more. The reason for this is obviously your body's naturally developing the ability to be able to get used to going out there and going for a run. But you're not going to be able to go out and just run at 100 miles an hour straight away. You're going to want to build your confidence, you're going to want to build that base fitness, and the best way to do this is through some nice, slow runs. Alright, the second thing, it's all good and well to say go out there and run slowly. How long do we do it for? A really good place to start is around 20 to 30 minutes. The truth is, the running that you do is better than the running that you don't do, in most instances, so long as we're not overdoing it. But we're going to talk about that in just a moment. So you want to be going out there for around 20 to 30 minutes at a super slow pace. You might go, Tyson, hey mate, there's no way I can possibly run for that long, no matter how slow it is. No worries. There's a beautiful technique that we can do which is going to allow for your particular fitness level. And that simply is, you can start by jogging for 1 minute, and then walking for 4 minutes. You can do that 4 or 5 times. Once that starts to feel easy, why don't you try jogging for 2 minutes and then walking for 3 minutes? And then jogging for 3 minutes and walking for 2 minutes until eventually the jogging element of that little structure overtakes the walking element, and before you know it, you'll be up there running for 20 to 30 minutes, so long as you're running slow. A lot of us underestimate our progress because we often go out there and run faster than we should be. You'd be amazed, even right now, how much further you can run or jog if you run at a very slow pace rather than getting caught up running at a pace that you feel you should be running at. Alright, but with all that said, how many days a week are we doing this? I recommend as a start point to have 48 hours roughly off in between your first few runs. So that might be 3 days a week that you're out there. So 3 days a week you'll go out there and do 1 minute of jogging and 4 minutes of walking just to get you started. Now, if you can do this consistently, that's where you're going to start to see some really big progress. One of the most difficult things about the situation that you're in right now is it's such a brand new activity that progress can feel as though it's slow. But once you start getting a little bit of consistency, once your body adjusts and adapts to the fact that you're putting it through its motions in the running world, you're going to start to see some really big improvements. That's going to be as a result of not only your fitness and your body becoming more callous to the work that you're putting in, but also due to growing confidence. When you get out there and you can start tying together 3 or so runs each week, your confidence is going to skyrocket, and before you know it, you'll start to actually enjoy this thing that once felt like such a difficult thing to get out there and do. Alright, the second last thing you're going to want to sort yourself out with is a nice comfortable pair of running shoes, or running clothes in particular. Go down to your local shoe store and find out what the best pair of running shoes for your particular foot type is. The reason this is important is because it's so uncomfortable going out for a run in a pair of basketball shoes or a pair of tennis shoes or a pair of casual shoes. For so many of us, that's all we've got at the moment. So we're going to get out there and it's just going to feel yuck. Feel the difference to run in a nice pair of shoes. Go get yourself sorted with that. You don't have to spend hundreds of dollars either. Find out what last season's model of shoes were. You might save yourself a little bit of cash. Then, as you get more and more into it, go get yourself some nice, comfortable running clothes. It always feels better, and it just gets you in a nice headspace for running when you're actually decked out in a little running kit. The last one that I want to recommend is cross training. So if you're really keen to improve your fitness and you're thinking, Tyson, 3 days a week doesn't really seem like enough to see the kind of improvements I want to see, that's fine. Maybe on the 4 days of the week that you're not running, you can go down and do a gym workout, whether that's body weight or with weights. I don't know if you've got yourself a strength routine. That's highly beneficial. Or do some swimming or some cycling. Obviously, they're not as hard on the joints and still giving those joints, knees and everything a nice opportunity to recover in between getting out there and running again. It's also a great opportunity to further increase your fitness. But the most important thing, like I said earlier, is to make sure that you're consistent at a bare minimum with the 3 days a week. Guys, these are just a couple of start points to get the ball rolling. If you've got anything that really helped you, I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. Make sure you let me know. If you're interested, we have a Relaxed Running podcast coming out every week where we speak to experts both on the track and off the track about how to improve your running performance. So if you're looking for a couple of little tricks and strategies to improve your own running performance, check out the Relaxed Running podcast. Until next week, I'll leave it there. Let's continue the conversation down in the comments below.